Last time we spoke with Adams State Athletic Director Larry Mortensen, it was halftime of the Fort Lewis and ASU basketball game, and Fort Lewis head coach Bob Hoffman decided to improvise and join us. So I wanted to get in a full isolated setting where no coaches can come in and interrupt our conversation. Coach, we were having a conversation about the Sears Cup before Bob stopped by, and I thought, well, let's take advantage of a camera and an opportunity to extend this conversation because you've been top six, really, consistently the last 5 years in Division II, cumulative scores, all sports involved, top 5, top 6 amongst Division II teams, and heading into the Christmas break, you're number 4 in the nation. What does that say about the development of athletics at Adams?
Damon has always had great programs, and we score a lot of points in it. I think they call it the Learfield Sports Cup now, Directors Cup, but he scores a lot for us, and without that, we don't get there. But we also have, now volleyball scoring, wrestling scoring. Traditionally, they've done well. Men's basketball, women's basketball, women's golf that have scored for us. So we have, some what I'm proud of, other sports now contributing to that. And we'd like to get a few more, maybe get some swimmers up there here pretty soon and get some other sports.
Well, and you take every sport seriously. We've seen some athletic directors, you can tell they're all in with some sports and just happy to have the other teams around. So when you have lacrosse, when you have non-NCAA sports coming in, rugby and rodeo, how do you become knowledgeable with all of these sports?
Well, you have to know a little bit about it, what fits in here at Adams State, what doesn't. Is there a good market for it? I can't tell you that I'm knowledgeable about every sport. I know a little bit more about basketball than some of the other sports, but I'm passionate about all those sports. And it's fun for me to watch lacrosse, to learn the rules of lacrosse, and then to engage in that and to help them succeed.
Well, and we're seeing sports like lacrosse take advantage of funding to create new facilities. In the northeast corner of Adams State has a lot of potential with a baseball, softball, lacrosse, and soccer field. When you look at campus development, what exciting developments will we see in that area to really make it a destination on a Saturday in the spring?
Well, that is an area of campus that one of the last pieces of land that we can grow, and the baseball field, in spring when it thaws out, you're going to see a nice baseball complex, a little bit of additions, new scoreboard for softball and a new press box for softball, and then with lacrosse. So that'll kind of tie that in. Eventually, we'd like the city to get in and get a bridge across there. We are in talks with possibly getting the city to get GOCO funds and help us with the running trail across the river there. And then we also are still in discussions about the bubble, the indoor field house, which we could host indoor track there, and that's still ongoing.
It's Larry Mortensen, athletic director with Adams State University. It becomes so much more complicated with collegiate coaches, and you're not just coaching a team, you're also trying to spur development. We saw with Mike McIntyre, the new coach at CU, that he's got a lot of development issues in his contract. If Folsom Field can be renovated, there's more money. If not, he can buy out of his contract early. It's a complicated new world. How do you adapt to all of this, even at the D2 level?
Well, we're not, to that point yet, but we are, used to be coaches just coached, and some of them used to teach at the D2 level. We're moving in more into a business aspect of sports, but we still in Division II pride ourselves in being well-rounded. We are students first and then athletes, community service and lifelong learners. Those things are still important, that balance. But, we also are looking at incentives in their contracts. We're looking at, we don't have anything like CU does with, hey, if we build this, but we do have an incentive for all our coaches. If they do well, we reward them. And of course, the opposite end, if they're not doing as well, we have to have some discussion. But, bottom line, our coaches do a fantastic job. And I think the best resource we have is our coaches, and then they can get the quality student athletes. But we pride ourselves on a great coaching staff.
You're a CEO now. It doesn't matter if it is D1 or D2, based on the business acumen that is necessary to do your job successfully. When did you think, as a coach, that, I've got a business understanding. If I can apply that, I can really oversee an athletic department?
Well, I don't think I have a great business understanding. What I do have is a background in where these coaches are. and knowing that, hey, here's what it takes. It takes, a great coach. But, if you don't have resources, I don't care what the coach is, you're not going to succeed. So you need some resources to succeed. So I do have a passion, and out of that passion has created kind of a business sense, more pragmatic than it is experiential as far as what I have is degrees in business, is realizing, hey, I've got to fund these guys and these women, and I need to go out and do it. So I have a passion for that.
Well, you also have a passion for Adams State and the RMAC, which seems to be the strongest attribute the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference has right now. We're not, just because we're in D2, not used to the conversation of super conferences and changes every year. So when you have 14 teams in the conference right now and maybe some possible turmoil in the future with the Heartland and Lone Star, some inquisitive coaches asking about the possibility of adding on to the RMAC, when you have a conference that is very stable and still looking to maybe expand in the future, how does that affect your resources?
Well, we want to be a player in the decisions the RMAC makes because it does affect us. The RMAC, its strength is there's a lot of diversity, but that can also be a weakness if you get too diverse, too spread out. And now instead of putting that money, I would like to think we want to put our resources as an institution into our student athletes, into our coaches, not into traveling to all far parts of the country. So hopefully if there is any growth, it's smart growth. And, we did add Black Hill State, and that made a little bit of sense because Kearney left and forced that hand. And for volleyball and basketball, now they can travel, on those road trips to Shadron and Black Hill State, which actually saves a little bit. Now, in other sports like track, it costs a little bit more. So I hope if we do grow, it's smart growth.
Larry, good chatting with you.
Thanks, man.
It's Larry Mortensen, Athletic Director with Adams State University, and this is the home for ASU Athletics, KSPK.